So one thing I know about real estate investing is you have to find somebody to work with that you build a relationship with that can help educate you and guide you through the process. And recently, I've had the chance to learn more about a colleague of mine in a networking group, Alex Nahle, who's a real estate agent here in Southern California, like I am, who also helps people with their path into investing. Alex, thanks so much for taking time today.
Absolutely, Bill. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
So you're a real estate agent here in Southern California. There's a lot of different ways to run a real estate business, and your focus is on working with investors. Tell me about that.
Correct. Yes, I'm a real estate agent in California, and my passion. I'm an investor-friendly realtor, so I have a passion investing in real estate myself, and also guiding others to do the same. Real estate investing. Some people have a misconception that it's very difficult, it's impossible to some to do. So I try to break it down and simplify it to the average person. And as you mentioned, you have to have the right team to guide you through the process. And we need to have the right team to have the support group to assist us in achieving this goal and guiding people through investing. So um, first and foremost, I'm an investor myself. My first property that I invested in was in 2000, May 19 of 2000, and it was a commercial property. And the best advice I got from my older brother is, let's buy it rather than rent it. So and that really opened my eyes and to see real estate differently. I
Well,
understand it's the path of building wealth and financial independence. That's really what I want to provide to others as well.
so what was your first property?
It was a commercial property in El Monte, California, a corner lot on Peck Road, and we opened up a used car dealership at the time. I got my dealer license at the age of 19, and we pursued the business for a couple of years, and due to economic situations, we decided to just lease out the property to someone else, and we maintained ownership of the property for many years to come until at one point we did sell it. The city did rezone the property without really notifying us, and that's a story for another day.
Okay. Well, and that's part of real estate is the local organization, local political structure, and you have to kind of know an area. But it sounds like, did you do well on the property before you sold it?
We did well on the property, and ironically, I look back, and the way we acquired the property is by acquiring a private money loan, and then we also did seller financing for the difference. At the time, the property was owned outright by the previous owner, so that's how we acquired the property. Business went well. However, again, there was a lot of things that were going on. In the macro schemes of things, and we just decided to move on and just lease out the property and just collect rent at the time.
One of the things you said when you started is that you're investor friendly. Now, I'd like to think myself as a friendly guy, but I'm sure I have my moments. Um, Obviously, part of being investor friendly is being an investor yourself and understanding the context. What else makes you an investor friendly real estate agent that investors should look to work with?
Sure, that's a great question. So as I mentioned, I invest in real estate myself. So I've done a number of fix and flips. And one strategy that I'm really passionate about is the BRRRR strategy. And for some of our listeners that may not be familiar with the BRRRR strategy, it's basically you buy the property, you rehab the property, you rent it out, you refinance it, and then you repeat it again. Many people have the misconception of using the BRRRR strategy that you have to pull all your money out. That's not necessarily the case. It does work in some areas or some other states. However, in California, with the way cash flow is, it's not necessarily easy to do that. However, what I've realized, and as you mentioned, you brought up a good point, is you have to be in tune with the local ordinance or any laws that come up locally. And there are quite a few that recently have popped up. As some of our listeners may know, the ADU laws, and then SB 9, which is Senate Bill 9, which allows you to do a lot split and allows you to do a duplex on a single family zoning. And quite recently, it looks like they're going to allow people to sell their ADUs as condos. So these are things that are game changers. And by adding value to a property, whether you add square footage or any of the other methods I just mentioned, that really allows you to obtain cash flow on the property. And then appreciation in California is phenomenal.
So when, where I don't really help investors and where I'm always looking to find somebody who can help is I'll meet people, say, I want to buy property and add an ADU. And I think that, that requires some expertise as an agent that I just don't really have. I've not done that. I'm not against it. It sounds great. I often have listings that are suitable for ADUs, but I don't really have the skills to help scout the right property to buy, or what's the right ADU size for that property, as well as connections for design and financing. So is that something that you can offer that an agent who's an investor who's interested, you can walk them through that process, or you can help them scout out properties and find that process?
Great question, Bill. Yes, absolutely. That's really something that we are passionate about, is really identifying a property or a lot that would be suitable for such. Just a quick example, corner lots or, detached garage, attached garage. You have junior ADUs and you have regular ADUs. So you have the ability to do multiple ADUs on one property. And then, getting a little bit more creative and applying SB9 into the mix allows you to, as I mentioned, a single family residence, you can have another, you can have a duplex on the property. And then depending on how the layout is, there's a potential of being able to add ADUs for each one. So that is definitely something we can walk someone through it, and as well, educate them how to obtain the financing necessary for that.
Fantastic. So I know that someone wants to work with you. Obviously, they can reach out to you personally. You have a website, thenahlegroup.com, TheNahlegroup.com. We'll have the contact below. Is that the best way to get a hold of you?
That is the best way to get a hold of me. You can also reach me on social media at Alex Nahle on Instagram. I have a link tree in my bio. Love to set up time with anyone and discuss this further.
Fantastic. Alex, thanks so much for making time today. And I look forward to having people reach out to you who need help or looking to get started on their investment path.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it.